Добрый вечер, дамы и господа. Я тут на очереди приготовил замечательную игру. Вначале специально помолчал, чтобы вы насладились прекрасной музыкой. Не знаю, как вам, но мне она уже нравится. Специально вырубил донатную полоску, потому что здесь кинематографическая довольно игра, поэтому главная картинка. Интересно, полоса загрузки сделана. Так, заводите. Это только рябь какая-то, иногда тормозящая.
The water's cold.
It's a fjord. You're not going swimming.
Boo. You're such a wet blanket, teddy bear.
You know I don't like it when you call me...
Edward Charles Harden, Esquire.
Will you promise to behave on land?
Don't I always?
Lissy, promise.
Oh, piffle and phonus balonus, Teddy. You ought to know better than to ask. Yes, I'll behave. I'll be a proper young lady. I shan't run or climb things or laugh too loud or call anyone old bean. Aside from you. So, do you think we'll find your Betty in, what did you call this village? Gravewick? Gravewick? Greywoke? It's an odd language. I don't much care for it.
Ага, интересно.
Betty found herself a burly Viking warrior and went native.
Это типа можно и ответить.
Drinks mead out of a chalice. Eats goat meat off the bone, that sort of thing. Teddy...
She's there.
How can you know for sure?
She's my sister.
But how can you know?
I just do. In her letter, she wrote about...
But that's months ago. She could have gone anywhere.
Without writing, or telegraphing her editor in New York, she wouldn't do that. Betty's...
Oh, the cat's pajamas, the bee's knees, Little Miss Perfect.
Alice, we're talking about my sister.
Fine. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Sadar, we all love her dearly. And Teddy Bear, Edward, we will find her. Betty's fine. Why, we'll see her as soon as we get to shore. She'll shower you with kisses and berate you for coming all this way from Hanover, Massachusetts to the middle of absolutely nowhere Scandinavia way just to chase
Norway.
her down. Everything will be Jake, old fruit. Is that it? Is that Groovewoke? It looks so peaceful and beautiful and so desolate, like a place built for ghosts.
Finally. I don't think I could do this for much longer.
Can't you row any faster? I'm getting frightfully bored.
How about you take over, Alice?
You slay me, Teddy, old bean. Was that thunder?
Still distant. The boat will be in safe harbor by the time the weather arrives.
So you say. But I say put your back into it, because we're sitting ducks out here. Quack, quack.
Они тут будут много разговаривать, поэтому придется много читать.
It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
Probably working. I know it's a foreign concept to you, but that's something normal people do.
Hardy har har.
The Fretland farm is up the hill somewhere.
Up where?
Где-то на холме.
I believe it's that farmhouse, all the way at the top.
Hot dog. Let's ankle.
Hold on. Let me read the letter from Mrs. Fretland first.
I'll meet
and-
you up there, old sport. I want to explore. Last one's a skunk's tail.
Никуда ты не
Wait.
пойдешь.
The ground's muddy. It's easy to slip and fall. Walk slowly and watch out for...
Don't be a wet blanket. A little mud never hurt anyone.
Fine. Just stay close.
As long as you keep up with me.
Все равно убегает.
Dear Mr. Harton, we would like to extend an invitation to visit our home. Troubled to hear of your sister's disappearance. No news to share. You'll find our farm on top of the hill. Hope I got that right. Look forward to seeing you here in October. Yours faithfully, Anna Fretland. Well, I'm here. Where are you? Did you make it to Grovik, Betty? And why did you pick this forlorn hole under the mountains?
Симпатичная дама.
Also sprach Zarathustra.
Нормально перевели.
On my way.
Где ты там?
Righto. Step to it, teddy bear.
Мышка слишком быстрая, надо ее сделать более гладенькую, если это, конечно, можно. О, ништяк, можно. Пока 0.5 сделаю, там, может быть, еще меньше нужно будет. Да, можно еще поменьше. Блин, красивая игра. Картинка прям нравится. Ну, примерно так и ставим. Я думаю, так пойдет. Снова виджет предпросмотра в Ютубе тупит. И показывает мне минуты на 3 назад. Не знаю, что с ним не так. Так, бегать здесь нельзя. Мне интересно, что-то написано. Что-то затерто. Так, ладно, в игре есть достижения, но мы будем потом их выполнять, я думаю. Потом отдельно перепройду, а сейчас все, что по пути попадется, то и буду делать. Так, там сказали F нажать можно. Блин, чел, как хреново, что ты не умеешь бегать. Ну, будем идти не спеша, любоваться пейзажиками. Я не хочу, может, на камень идти, я хочу вот здесь пройти. Можно? А, отдохнуть? Давай отдохнем.
Just taking a break.
Не-не-не, не иду. Все, пошли, отдохнул. Го дальше. А раз она такая шустрая, надо было как истинный джентльмен предложить ей побегать с чемоданом. Ну, типа, чё нет? А, каждый раз, когда жмешь альтап, он в паузу переходит. Ну ладно. Мне показалось, или там что-то блестело в доме? А, показалось, видимо. А, это забор, я думал, чучело какое-то стоит. Опять отдохнуть? Ну, давай отдохнем. Силы беречь надо. Полюбуемся пока пейзажиками. Картинка красивая, музыка приятная. Игра оптимизированная. Что еще нужно для счастья? Чтобы был сюжет интересный. Интересно придумали то, что вот они титры задают в начале игры. Блин, так дышит тяжело. Давай отдохнем еще немножко. Глядишь, до конца стрима дойдем доверху. Полюбуемся красотами местными. Цветочки вон цветут. Так, дальше куда? Еще выше? Ага. Все верно. Ничего, ничего, дыши. Сейчас отдохнем здесь. Все, давай, родной. И здесь пейзажами полюбуемся. Все, отдышался, го дальше. Тут какой-то Стоунхедж местный. Он Саймон Пул, красавчик. Композитор который. Да и все остальные красавчики, чё. Какое-то подобие замка он стоит. Да все, пришли уже почти. Отдохнуть у ворот. О, да, серьезно? Калитку не сломай.
You're not the one carrying a suitcase.
Выпендривается там стоит. Что-то реально надо было чемодан ей отдать. О, какая-то коза. Видите козу? Блин, я до козы хочу дойти. Не до этой. До вон той. Ну, что-то прям хочется до козы дойти. Я не знаю, можно до нее дойти или нет. Прям желание возникло. А то вдруг она уйдет. Спустя какое-то время. А, блин, тут забор. Все, я понял. Вот еще какой-то зверь. Тоже на козу похожий. Блин, раздражает, что здесь бегать нельзя. Сейчас дойду до калитки, если ее нельзя открыть, придется идти в дом. Печаль. Коза, не уходи, я вернусь. Ну, симпатично, прям симпатично. Картинка нравится. О, еще коза. Ладно, погнали сюжетку проходить, потом будем коз щупать.
What took you so long?
I'm not 17.
Nor are you 70. Put some spring into your step, old sport.
Did you see the flag? It's at half-mast. Someone died.
So this is it, huh? Nice digs. But seriously, where is everyone?
Где все?
This is starting to creep me out.
Да хз, где все?
Must be somewhere. They can't.
Дома все.
Everyone's indoors. The rain's picking up.
You first, old bean.
Тук-тук-тук.
Hello? Anyone there? Mr. Fretland? Mrs. Fretland? This is Edward Charles Harden, the American. We've exchanged letters.
Maybe they went on holiday and left the door open. Give it a shake and a rattle.
I can't just barge into their home.
It's not a crime if you're invited.
Фига.
I'm coming in. This is Mr. Harden.
Ачивку дали.
Hello?
Тук-тук.
Is anyone home?
This house is as empty as a bird's nest in December. Hey, you want to check out the upstairs?
I'm a guest. Why would I start poking around every
Но я все
corner
равно
of the
доскажу,
house?
это я ей
I
так
don't know.
сказал для
Maybe
отвлечения.
they're playing hide and go seek. Well, I didn't want to go upstairs anyway. It's creepy.
There must be a sitting room on this floor.
Гостиную найдем,
Oh,
расположимся.
this is nice. Charmingly rustic. The Boston Beaumont would pay a pretty penny for this setup. I thought foreigners lived differently. This is almost like an American home.
People are people wherever you go.
Thanks, Proust.
Так, один момент. Сейчас я чекну, как на стриме она выглядит. Мне кажется, она довольно темная. Но она по факту темная. Но, возможно, она еще темнее, чем у меня на экране. Ну да, в целом можно немножечко выкрутить. Чуть-чуть. Сейчас все сделаю. Ну, хотя бы вот так. Сделал поярче. Ну, мне кажется, если ее задумывали такой темненькой, нуарной, то пускай она такой и будет. Так.
Look! Family pictures. They must be the, what did you call them?
It's really coming down.
How about a quick run in the rain?
You can't be serious.
You're already a wet blanket, teddy bear. It's not like you'll get any wetter.
Она опять его Тедди Бир назвала, но не перевели.
You can see the whole village from up here.
Do you want to go sightseeing?
Tomorrow. It's getting late, and the rain's not abating.
Так. Говорят, можно F нажать, когда она рядом, чтобы с ней поговорить.
Betty might be with the Fretlands, wherever they are.
Wouldn't Anna Fretland have written you?
She might have. We left Hanover a month ago.
Они месяц назад уехали и только сейчас прибыли сюда. Так. А, так это церковь, а я думал, что это замок какой-то.
There's the Stave Church.
Do you think that's where they've all gone? Maybe there's a very popular funeral.
The flag was at half-mast, but no sign of life out there.
Блин, прикольно, прям
Where do you think they've
интерактивно.
gone?
The Fretlands.
The Fretlands, the Hansons, the Jensens, all of them.
I'm sure they'll be back soon.
It's like a dead land. As though its soul has departed.
Our hosts,
No, silly, they're names.
Johann and Anna Fretland.
This is honestly not what I'd pictured. They're very presentable. Not at all like turnip farmers.
They're not turnip farmers. That must be Johann Fretland, master of the house.
What makes you think he's the master of anything?
Master
it's
of the
1923,
house.
petty old boy. Women can vote. Johann went and found himself a delectable bride.
Alice, please.
What can I say? She's a minx.
Anna Fretland is a respectable woman. Her letter was courteous and professional.
Didn't you say she was a city girl? Must have been awfully hard to adjust to life in the sticks. I can relate.
Hanover isn't the sticks.
Says you.
Типичный городской житель.
I'm guessing their daughter is the master of this house. She's cute as a button. I can't wait to meet her. She's guaranteed to be more fun than you.
Это она, конечно, дерзкая.
Old Johann's a bit wooden, isn't he? Like someone put a stick
They're
up his,
posing for a
up his
photograph.
rear end. I say, loosen up, Johann. I'm sure you two stiffs will get along famously.
Два бревна.
Wait, is that... Are they... Who's... They're all twins. All of them.
That's Johann and Anna Fretland.
There are two of each, Edward. Two of each.
Frederick and Margaret. Twins marrying twins.
Прикольно.
My mind's reeling. This is just too adorable.
May 26th, 1899. We'll be celebrating their silver anniversary next year.
Серебряная свадьба, это сколько лет? Я вот не помню, если честно. О, письмо. Что пишут?
Dear Mrs. Fretland, I trust this letter finds you and your husband in good health. I wrote to inform them about when I'd be arriving. So where are they?
Do they even have calendars? Maybe they don't know what day it is.
Despite appearances, we haven't gone back in time. They have calendars. Home feels very far away.
Are we feeling melancholy again?
I've never been this far from Hanover.
It's about time we got you out of that dreary old house, Teddy Bear.
I asked about Elizabeth.
And they hadn't seen her?
Anna... Mrs. Fretland promised she'd write if she heard anything. There wouldn't be many female reporters from New York and Western Norway.
Why would she come here in the first place?
Betty always has her reasons.
Есть свои причины, а теперь ходи ищи.
The thought of boarding that infernal ocean liner again.
I quite enjoyed it. So much room for exploration and mischief.
So many opportunities for seasickness and claustrophobia.
Don't be a Debbie Downer. I'm sure your tummy will be better behaved on the return voyage. And you'll be craving enclosed spaces after a week in this wide-open wilderness.
Она просто не шарит, что такое морская болезнь, поэтому так и говорит.
Did you hear something?
No.
Must be the wind under the door. Or the churning sea.
The books are all in English.
Isn't that a bit odd?
Mrs. Fretland is Scottish, though she grew up in Ålesund.
Have you been secretly communicating with Johann's winsome wife, Edward, dearest?
Certainly not. She was the one who wrote me, because Mr. Fretland's English
I was
isn't as...
only joking. Lighten up, old sport. Don't be such a pill.
Блин, молодо зелено, реально. Везде свой нос засунет. Что там, книгу какую-то сжигали?
What are you looking at there?
И не
A book.
дожгли.
Strange place for a book. Unless it was a terrible book that deserved a good burning. What's the title?
The cover's charred. Christmas 1922. To Ruth, from Simon. Why would someone burn this?
Like I said, maybe it was a terrible book. Is Simon one of the Freddie Landers?
I don't think so. They only have the one daughter.
Эти лайнеры. Ну, это нифига не подобрать, это посмотреть называется, чел. Так, это, судя по всему, кабинет, да?
Well, those boys look proud as peacocks. What does it say there? Groovy?
Gruben, the mine.
Maybe that's where everyone is. Digging for precious jewels in the Stygian abyss.
From what I learned of this place during the brief stay in Ålesund, the iron mine shut down 20 years ago. Frederick and Johann Fretland, founders of the Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
They're the spitting image of each other.
Twin brothers and business partners.
And they married twin sisters. Adorable. Who's the boy?
Понятно, шахта
He looks
своя.
related to the other two.
The mine was only in operation until 1902. They must have lost a fortune. An iron mine wouldn't pay itself off in 5 years.
Can we go spelunking? Perhaps we'll find trolls in the abyss, and we can steal their ill-gotten gold.
There was a cave-in. It'll be unsafe.
Boo.
Блин, хреново, если у них шахта даже не окупилась. Ну чё, по хронологии пойдем?
Johann Fretland exits Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
So the brothers parted ways?
Johann sold his share to focus on farming.
That must have put a damper on their relationship.
Tragic accident befalls the Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
What happened?
The mine collapsed, killing 3 workers, including Arne Fretland, Frederick and Johan's younger brother.
That's awful. How old was he?
19.
He might be the boy in the photograph.
Operations were suspended after the accident.
Здорово, Тёмыч. А, у меня тут фильмец интерактивный, можно так сказать.
Foreign investors out of Frederick Fretland's mining company. Dire financial consequences for Fretland, who must have had a difficult time after his brother Johann Fretland pulled out earlier this year.
Johann was smart to exit when he did.
The timing is curious, like he knew something was about to go awry.
Ну, может, они там не соблюдали технику безопасности, и он понимал, что что-то должно случиться, поэтому и свалил. Всяко может быть. Так, что тут еще интересного есть в этом доме? Какое-то зеркало?
Oof, that's a grim sight, old bean.
Это все, что я там могу увидеть.
I'm exhausted and soaked to the bone.
Let's get you to bed.
We'll wait for the Fretlands. It's only courteous.
О, манекен.
Have you gone screwy again, Teddy? That's not Betty. That's...
Scarf. I'd know it anywhere.
It doesn't look like anything to me. It
She
just
bought it in
looks like...
Bloomingdale's the Christmas before last. When she came home that year, she showed it off, dancing around the sitting room until I got dizzy watching her.
I think you're misremembering. She couldn't make it home that year. Again.
No, you're wrong. I'm sure she was there.
Whatever. It's not like you pay any attention to me when Betty's around. I might just as well be a ghost.
Ревнует.
Look, it is her scarf. It even smells like her perfume. Shalimar.
But what if that's not...
She's here. I'm finally going to find her.
That's great, Edward, really. I wouldn't want you to get your hopes up. I mean, where's everyone gone to? Something's not right, I'm telling you. Teddy? Edward, what's wrong?
Lightheaded, that's all.
You're having another spell. You know what happens when you exert yourself.
Мысли какие-то плохие в голову закрались, видимо, ему.
Sit down. That's an order from your commander.
Yes. Fine.
Командир, блин. Тоже мне.
What are you doing? Come sit down.
I just need to catch my breath. Just for a moment.
I want you to lie down. Lie down and close your eyes. It's been a strenuous day. What with the rowing and the dragging of the suitcase up the hill.
But what if the Fretland...
I'll keep an eye out. I promise. If they come home, I'll wake you. Now, lie down, close your eyes, breathe deeply.
I'm just...
Мокрый спать ложится. Как-то негоже. А я еще другие комнаты, блин, не обследовал. Что она меня спать уложила?
Elizabeth? Is that you? Betty? Lissy? Lissy, are you here? Alice?
Так Алиса и Лисси это одно и то же имя получается?
Lissy? Where are you, Lissy?
Вэю, лысый. Так. Все?
Hey, who's there? Betty? Elizabeth? Wait!
Кто там? Никого не видно.
Lissy, there's someone outside. It might be Betty.
Под лестницу
Here,
нельзя?
Lissy? Are you in here, Lissy?
Так, а зайти, не? Давай, давай. Камон.
Are
Вперед.
you in here, Lissy?
Нет? Просто посмотреть можно? Окей.
Where are you?
Не, на улицу не хочу. Го на второй этаж, посмотрим, что там. Ну-ка,
Listen.
сцена.
Are you upstairs?
А, типа она не отозвалась, все, значит, туда мы не пойдем. Понял тебя. Довольно коридорно.
Who's out there? Hello? Betty? Lissy? Betty?
Лисси, Бетти. Чей-то след.
I'm not alone.
Видишь, не один. Ты с подругой своей приехал. Ну, как минимум. Это они так напугать пытаются, что ли? Я не понимаю. Разработчики, вы чё? Или типа просто атмосферка?
I can hear you. Alice.
О, он бегать научился. Офигеть. Прикольно.
Who goes there? Wait. Alice, where are you? Are you out there, Betty?
Бдумс. А все, здесь больше нет ничего.
Someone there?
Куда лезть? А, это типа перешагнуть?
Can you hear me? Hello?
О, коза.
Betty, is that you?
Коза не хочет дружить.
Are you there, Betty?
О, поехал на жопе куда-то.
Shit.
Так, очки подбирай. Без очков вообще не гоже будет.
Elizabeth, are you there?
Тут, кстати, прикольная тема была в настройках. Это включить нуарность в графике. Вон здесь в конце. Давайте включим, посмотрим. А, это такая рябь будет. Не-не, спасибо. Спасибо, но нет.
Where are you?
Какая-то одежда. Это ее шапка? Нет, я не
The boat,
понимаю.
Edward! Where's our boat?
Lissy.
Лодка Лисси Бетти. Давай
What
про
about the
лодку.
boat?
It's gone.
The boat? What? How?
Maybe you didn't secure it properly.
I pulled it up. I don't know. I thought I tied it securely, but... Where did you go?
Out? For a walk. It stopped raining.
Did you see Betty?
Did I see... What are you talking about?
I think... Betty? It was Betty. It was her. It must have been her. I saw her face in the window, and she vanished into the dark towards the sea. You really didn't see anyone?
I haven't seen a single soul. Are you sure it was her and
Yes.
not...
I mean, I saw her face, and it looked like her.
Well, if it was her, why did she run away?
I don't know. It's getting dark. Back to the house. Then tomorrow.
Tomorrow's another day, Teddy Bear. We'll figure it out. Right now, let's get you cleaned up. Look at you. You've got mud all over yourself. And then
На
you're
жопе
leaving us.
катился.
You must be exhausted.
С чего он реально взял, что он видел там кого-то определенного? Спросонья еще не такое может почудиться. Получено достижение «Синее небо Норвегии». Ну, видимо, сюжетные ачивки капают по чуть-чуть. Мне кажется, он как-нибудь ночью проснется, а тут либо манекена не будет, либо он его как-то испугается. Вот прям по-любому что-то будет с ним, мне кажется. Пипец, у него тут все так нарядно. А это что такое? Перец, соль? Это с дырочками. Ну, так симпатично, конечно, все уложено. Красавчик.
I will find you again.
Так, может, не надо искать тут, может, все хорошо. Ты просто суеты наводишь. Ага, прикольно. Она прям исчезла. Разрабы думали, что я не посмотрю, но я посмотрел. А, ну да, симпатно. Симпатно. Дождя нет, не пасмурно. Так, что там было? Мне показалось. Так, а наверх и в комнату все, нам по-прежнему нельзя заходить. Мы так чисто. А, не, можно. Давайте посмотрим, что у нас тут есть. Какое-то письмо обгоревшее, но он почему-то не хочет его читать. Мне кажется, мискоту прибрать надо куда-то. Я, конечно, не эксперт в хранении продуктов. Но мне кажется, что да. Что-то вроде холодильничка должно быть. Так, го наверх. Посмотрим, что тут у нас есть. Есть книга. Что за крест? Типа нельзя ничего с ней сделать? Draugen вальс. Похоже на главную тему этой игры, которая в менюхе играет. Все? Нет. Получено достижение пианист. Прикольно. Надо было поиграть. Я даже не читал, что за ачивки, что в них делать нужно. Буду просто проходить так, как я прохожу обычные игры, а потом, если это понадобится, перепройду игруху еще раз. Так. Кто-то трубку курит. The door is locked. А тут open. Блин, все время хочется сундук прошмонать. Почекать, что там. Но возможности такой нет. О, какая-то кастрюлька у них. Чаша ночная. В туалет не ходить. На улицу. Jesus Christ. По крайней мере, очень похоже. Одинокий куст такой растет. То есть нет никакой растительности и куст. Ну, давай. Так, здесь закрыто. На балкончик. Ну, с балкончика хороший вид открывается. Прикольно, а тут у тебя и церковь. И вон водопад какой-то. И шикарные горы. Блин, красиво у них там. Так, тут мы были, на пианинке поиграли. И еще комната одна. Это, судя по всему, детская, потому что тут рисунки. Ага. Рисунок с храма. С церкви, точнее. Вот, вот. Я также хочу открыть сундук и золото найти в нем. Взрослые ругаются, ребенок грустит. Так, ну тут такая же картина. Тазик для умывания. Медведь свинью украл. Забавно. Какой-то грустный заяц. Или он наоборот смеется. Морду лапой прикрыл. Окей. Детская комната. Понято, принято. Единственная комната, которая не открывается, это вот эта боковая. Наверное, это батина комната. И книгу поюзать нельзя. Стало быть, еще рано юзать книгу.
I just about given up on you ever waking up.
I was looking around the house.
So we're okay with that now? Noted. Sleep well?
I dreamed of Betty.
Теперь это нормально.
She was in the
Нормально.
garden, and she called for me.
How about you, Lissy dearest? Oh, you know me, old fruit, wide awake at first light.
The Fretlands didn't come home, did they?
They did not. There's no sign of anyone. Aside from last night's Mistwalker.
I've been thinking about that.
Что тень? А почему тень с точкой?
What?
It looked like Betty. I was so sure. She wouldn't have run away. It makes no sense. Perhaps it was no one. Just the night playing tricks.
Oh, there must be someone here. And I'm not talking about ghosts. Or goats. What was it you said yesterday? Maybe they're peeking at us through the windows.
I'll take a gander. The Fretlands will be home soon. And Betty's here. I know it.
Уверенный.
If you say so, Teddy Bear. Have you had your noodle juice yet?
I'm not rummaging through their cupboards.
You'll be a pill without your tea and toast, old bean. We need to get you sorted.
I'm not hungry. First point on the agenda. Find the natives.
A mission! Hot dog! I'll scout ahead. I'll meet you down by those houses.
Опять она на газ нажала. Так, что тут? АД, да? Это типа карта, насколько я понимаю. Лодка, которой нет. О, тут можно прочитать. Дорогой мистер Харден, надеюсь, что письмо застанет вас в добром здравии. Мы с моим мужем Йоханом получили ваше письмо 9 июля. Мы хотели бы пригласить вас погостить в нашем доме в октябре. Не беспокойтесь, вы не доставите нам никаких неудобств. У нас всего один ребенок, наша дочь Рут, и более чем достаточно места, чтобы разместить одного гостя. Нас очень обеспокоила новость о пропаже вашей сестры. К сожалению, новостей пока нет, и я думаю, она еще не прибыла в Гровик. Я поспрашивала людей, и если кто-то что-то узнает и расскажет мне, я напишу вам. Однако, я уверена, что с ней все в порядке, и что ее просто что-то задержало в дороге. Что касается вашего приезда, боюсь, что паром из Лессона в Гровик больше не ходит, так что вам придется добираться через фьорд самостоятельно. Когда приедете, вы найдете нашу ферму на вершине холма без проблем. От причала, мимо магазина, идет вверх дорога. Наш дом вы не пропустите, он самый большой во всей деревне. Прошу вас, напишите нам снова, когда вы окончательно определитесь с планами или получите известие от сестры. Мы с мужем с нетерпением жду. Наверное, ждем вашего визита в октябре. Искренне ваша Анна Фредланд. Все, с той стороны больше нечего читать. Но, видимо, это все. Нажмите J для просмотра журнала. Окей. J журнал. Все, запомнили. Чтобы бежать трусцой. Так, она сказала внизу еще в письме написано про какой-то магазин. Что из этого магазин?
Up here, Teddy.
Чё, где?
It's such a beautiful day. You could
Фига ты
bottle and sell it
дереволаз.
there in Boston. It's frankly medicinal. Teddy,
Careful you don't fall.
you suck the fun out of everything, old boy.
We're far from any doctor. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
That's not very likely, is it?
I thought you were scouting ahead.
What do you think I'm doing? Vantage point, like on a pirate ship. I can probably see our house in Hanover from here.
Did you check those buildings?
Knocking on doors isn't a scout's job, old bean.
There must be someone around.
Only one way to find out, old sport. Did you check all the houses?
Вы хотите во все дома теперь стучаться? Ну, погнали. Наш командир на дереве велел стучаться во все дома. На самом деле, да, странно, куда они все запропастились.
Hello? Anyone here?
Why, hello, Mr. American. Please come in for a cup of tea and biscuits.
You're not helping.
No one home?
Какая-то наблюдательная.
Hello? Who's there?
Кто такой Фарадер, я не знаю.
Hello? Anyone home?
Какая-то прям деревянная кровать. Ну, судя по всему, тут кто-то в сало живет, да? Не, вторая комната есть. И тут еще двое. Так, что пишут?
September 21st, 1923. Vi desperata. Lissy, found something here. Escalated from words to stones. Blood has been spilled. The curse haunts us all. There is no hope left in good Sforlata. Good God. Right. In this God-forsaken place. The death of the Jiminy. Death of the children was the end of Grovik. Whatever remained of our souls departed with them. You should see this, Lissy.
Да забери с собой, покажешь ей.
Trails off. Was never sent.
Это печальная история. Дети умирают. Собрать это не можешь с собой, чел? Нет? Ну, видимо, нет. Просто держим в голове, что дети умирают. Давай. Оп. Ну, почти.
Did you see this door closing?
It was just the wind, Teddy Bear. You're as skittish as a pussycat. There's one more house. Third time's the charm.
Лови ее за ноги.
There must be someone around.
Only one way to find out, old sport. Did you check all the houses?
Тук-тук.
Anyone home?
Unless they're playing hide and go seek, I'd say that's an 3 strikes, you're out.
I don't think anyone's been home for a while.
О,
Someone
молодец.
painted the word traitor on one of the doors.
А, предатель это значит.
And there was a letter. It sounded foreboding.
Well, you were wrong. The villagers are not indoors.
I saw some sheds down by the water. There's the general store. Church.
In other words, time for some sightseeing? Well, it's a bright and beautiful day, and we have nothing better to do.
What on earth are you doing?
Handstands, Teddy! My record is 2 minutes. I'm working on 3. Just go on ahead. I'll catch up.
На руках беги, что-то. На самом деле прикольное упражнение. Так неплохо укрепляет руки, грудные, плечи, ну и так далее. Что там, нет никого? Это в церковь, я так понимаю. Ну го. Пойдем в церквушку. Стоит до сих пор. Ладно, она быстро догонит, я уверен. У меня челик кое-как свои спринты используют. Вот казалось, что церковь дальше находится. Я быстренько прибежал к ней.
July 24th. Memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that.
Когда? 24 июля? А, он год не говорит.
A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that.
Какой год-то вообще на дворе? Так, лопата.
All these graves. What happened?
It's a cemetery.
But look at the soil. These are recent burials.
You're right.
Ну,
Do
кстати,
you think
да.
this is where everyone's gone? Are they all dead?
How many graves are there?
Not enough, I guess. How many people lived here?
I'm not sure. Also, someone must have buried them.
There's that.
Something did happen. Several people died in a short period of time.
How? An accident? A mass murder? Spanish flu?
I wouldn't want to speculate until I've learned more.
I can speculate for the both of us.
Well, Betty's not here. I'm gonna keep looking.
What about the church?
Тут точка взаимодействия какая-то. А, вон нарисовать. Я думаю, он просто сел. Это перевод какой-то неправильный. А нет. Там причем кресты, по крайней мере слева, как будто бы без имени, фамилии. Хотя, возможно, она посерединке маленьким шрифтом написано. Каждое действие он музыкой сопровождается. Красота. Так, ты долго там рисовать будешь, родной? Или это бесконечная кат-сцена? Пока не пошевелишься, она не пройдет. Так и есть. Что нарисовал? Похоже. Ну да, это карта.
Betty would have taken plenty of constitutionals here. She loves the outdoors.
How so? She's a city girl.
I'm sure she gets tired of Manhattan. And when she was little, she loved playing in the garden back in Hanover, especially around the pond.
Are you alright?
I just miss her.
Ну, ночь к воде пойдем, раз она любит. Около
Why
пруда.
would they board up a church?
To keep the ghosts from escaping?
Lissy.
Or the goats from getting in?
Козы не забрались, это да.
What does that say?
God is not here.
А, ну еще бы я понял, что они там пишут. Они же пишут и не по-английски. Нет, тут ничего. Хорошо, что моя подруга не бегает за мной постоянно. Иначе я уверен, что мы бы здесь с ней застряли. И пришлось бы игру загружать.
So much for that. No wedding, no baptism, no funeral.
There must be people somewhere. Where are you going?
For constitutional. To breathe some of this salty sea air. You go on ahead. I'll find you.
Тут вот лавка есть, по-любому надо сесть отдохнуть, не? Нифига. И даже разбежавшись, прыгнуть со скалы не получается. Как бы не хотелось. Не, ну вот здесь домики есть еще. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять. Тут вон целое какое-то поселение еще дополнительное. Го. Необходимо исследовать здесь все. Еще нарисовать можно? Не, больше не надо. Чтобы сидели раз. Здорово, коза. Так, здесь вот еще наверх можно пойти. Но, судя по всему, я выйду к своему же дому. Ну, как к своему. Уже дом себе присвоил. К тому дому, где живут люди, которые меня позвали сюда. Что тут? Еще нарисовать можно, что ли? Давай нарисуем. Что мне подсказывает, что если какое-нибудь достижение есть, какая-нибудь ачивка на то, чтобы нарисовать везде и все. Но это лишь моя догадка. Ну, я так полагаю, все, ты если сел рисовать, то он уже нарисовал. Сколько бы ты там не сидел дальше. Было бы странно, если бы картина становилась более детальной, если ты сидишь дольше. Ну, как мне кажется. Так, а что здесь в сараях, может быть, постучаться в сарае? Тут, может, кто-то есть, не? Понятно. Да, по-прежнему нельзя? Да, по-прежнему нельзя. Коридорность этой игры намекает на то, чтобы я шел вниз. Так, можно через мост пойти, там были еще домики. Можно спуститься вниз и проверить вот эти.
How about we don't go back to Hanover and stay here instead?
And how would I survive?
Hunt, harvest, forage. People have survived here for centuries. Why can't we?
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I could learn. I'd start with goats. Goats can be eaten and milked. Probably
Вероятно, в
not in
обратном
that
порядке.
order.
Да, ты бы тут не выжила. Так, чё? Фретланд и сын. Ну, судя по всему, это магазин.
Applesauce.
Why lock any doors? I can't imagine they have a problem with punks and hoodlums.
The sign says they're closed, but I thought maybe... Hello? Are you open? Is anyone there?
Can't you just bust down the door? Locks be damned.
Breaking and entering, I will not. I'll just
Законопослушный.
shoulder. Fretland and Son.
How do you figure?
It's on the sign above the entrance. And on this photograph. Frederick and Simon Fretland. Simon Fretland. Frederick's son.
And Johann's nephew. See, I'm getting the hang of this. Simon. Simon. That was the name in the burnt book. So Simon is Ruth's older cousin.
Старший кузен Рут.
The older gentleman is clearly Mr. Fretland's twin brother.
Twins are confusing. If this was a dime novel, they'd be switching places at some point to confuse the coppers. Damn you, twins!
Так, что еще здесь есть?
They had a memorial service for the accident in the mine. On July 24th, in the village church.
For something that happened 20 years ago?
It still affected their lives.
То есть, если написано, что 1923... ну да, а трагедия в 1902 была. Кстати, такой же плакат был наверху у церкви, но он его читать не захотел.
The telegraph is out of order.
Well, there goes my plan. NOSOS.
This was 2 years ago, but the notice is still up.
How can it take 2 years to get something like that fixed?
If they couldn't afford it? Or couldn't get anyone to come fix it?
Well, this place really is off the map. Here be dragons. Or Draugans, I guess.
The ferry route is no longer operating.
Rats!
Mrs. Fretland already informed me in a letter.
I know. Still warrants a resounding rats.
I wonder why it stopped running.
Look around. How many people live here? 20? 30? That can't be enough for a ferry route.
Things got quieter after the mine closed down.
They need to move on and find something else to put their village on the map. Tobacco farming, maybe.
It must have been so isolated, with no easy way in or out.
Aren't there boats?
He saw how much work it was to cross the fjord. And if the weather's bad...
Can't be
Да, можно не
healthy.
доплыть при плохой
Being so
погоде.
isolated, cooped up inside, reading the collected works.
Yeah, all right. I get
This
it.
village is basically you, Tony.
I said all right. The ferry would have made the trip here much easier.
Then you wouldn't have had to pay that farmer a fortune to rent his boat.
I had no choice.
We should keep his boat, if it comes back. Bring it with us to Hanover.
Do what?
Свою себе лодку.
I don't know. Grow parsley in it? Use it in the pond? Forget it. Stupid idea.
Так, чё, все? Мы не будем выносить дом? Точнее, выносить дверь. И проникать в магазин. Боится вывихнуть плечо, так с ноги можно бить. Так, что тут было? Как будто здесь какое-то взаимодействие было или надпись. Вот опять. Вот сейчас справа. Так вот, окно приоткрыто. Залезай. Девчулю подсади туда и все, и вперед. Взаимодействовать здесь никак нельзя. Вообще тоже на стене написано что-то. Шляпа какая-то. Шляпа, кстати, похожая на ту, которая была у его сеструхи.
A boat! Teddy! A hot dog! This is our ticket out of here!
Not without Betty. Besides, the wood's rotted through. This boat isn't seaworthy. It's curious. The state of the boats. It's like they stopped taking care of them.
Seems short-sighted. How would they fish? Or get anywhere at all?
А что, все, про дыру уже нельзя поговорить, сакцентировать внимание. Вот лодка еще, утопленная. Сколотите заодно несколько.
The weather's favorable today.
I did a little dance last night, appeasing the weather gods. Thor, in particular, was mightily impressed.
Was he?
Promised to back off with the thunder and lightning for a spell. And don't you know, he proposed to me. But I told him I'm not into gods. I prefer jazz musicians.
Куда-то она криво камни кидает, не в реку. Нифига. Дом, если что, разберем какой-нибудь, из него лодку сколотим. Так, здесь что? Тоже ничего. Тупо сарай. О, а тут пройти можно? Ну, как бы можно, а чё толку? Даже ни на какой камушек тут сесть нельзя и ничего нарисовать. Они прям хотят, чтобы я подошел и увидел, что лодки нет. А, кто-то перерезал, да?
There's no damage to the rope.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody cut it.
А, наоборот, нет.
Could have unraveled on its own.
Didn't you say you used a sailor's knot?
I'm a scholar, not a fisherman.
So who took our boat? A ghost? If not a ghost, then a goat? The goat's row?
Пролив и отлив, наверное.
Tide took our boat.
If you say so. But then who were you chasing after last night? I mean, you thought it was Betty,
No.
but
No, I don't know. It was probably all in my head.
Привиделось.
It's quite peaceful.
if no one was around, I'd strip naked. The earth would delight in my bare feet. The wind would savor playing with my hair.
Is that so?
I don't know, I just like being naked. But not when you're around, Teddy Bear.
По-моему, здесь уже прохладно, чтобы голышом бегать. О, еще можно что-то нарисовать. Симулятор художника. Ну покажите другой ракурс. Все, нарисовали. Смотрим, что получилось. И сарайчики нарисовал. Так, все, здесь же ничего нового. Ну чего ты молчишь-то? Просто присел, посмотрел. Все, эта лодка уже не это. Не повзаимодействовать с ней никак.
What's this?
Remnants of the mining operation.
What, mine?
Remember, I told you yesterday. There was a mine here, but it closed down 20 years ago.
I know, Edward. I was just checking for a sense of humor. Still nowhere to be found. What did they use this for?
Bringing the ore down from the mine before it was loaded onto boats.
О, солнце вышло.
Diamonds? Gold? Or just boring old silver?
Iron ore.
Or what?
Rock, which contains iron
I know.
deposits that...
Okay, Edward. I don't understand why they just leave this here. Like an altar to adversity. It's creepy.
Rustic superstition. Perhaps they believed they'd attract bad luck if they moved it.
Злосчастье. Такое слово.
Where do these tracks lead?
To the mine. Where else would they go?
I don't know. A castle up in the mountains? Where the frost giants live? And this is how they receive their monthly offering of meat from the villagers. Goat, I hope.
Нормально фантазия у девчули работает. Ничего интересного нет. Стул. Кто-то тряпки не достирал. А вот в этом домике я был, по-моему, нет.
What if everyone turned into a pebble? And they can't speak, but they see and feel everything that happens to them.
There's something very wrong with your head.
Wouldn't it just be awful? Why, I'd be a murderer.
Так, да, вот этот домик явно не посещен. О, там птица в окно долбится, да? Ага. Что такое-то?
Is that? Lissy, come here.
Ну, я же говорю,
It's Betty's
шляпа
She
ее.
was here. She could still be in there. Betty? Betty!
Are you sure, Edward? I mean, it's just a hat. Is it even a hat? I'm
I
not
know
sure
my sister's hat, Lissy. I have to get inside.
What about the breaking and entering part?
I could care less what they call it.
Ну вот, чел уже нашел оправдание. Почему можно туда залезть? Ну, будешь с плеча бить, не? Тогда гой сюда, здесь можно подсадить подружку свою.
Here's an open window.
You seem eager to break the law. I approve.
Одобряю.
Budge!
Don't be a milquetoast.
Well, it's stuck.
Attaboy, Teddy. You can do this.
Тянуть, тянуть сильнее. Да ногой упрись.
I can't believe I'm actually breaking... Whoops, Daisy.
Oh my, Teddy. You're such a sap.
Вжух. Ты вставать-то будешь или ты лежать будешь? Или ты там на гвоздь упал?
Tanty, world traveler, cat burglar.
A cat burglar would, by definition, enter a building on a higher
Jeez.
floor.
The state of this place.
Oh, Betty,
Edward,
I hope you weren't here when...
is this blood?
Not necessarily human blood.
Well, that's all right then. What does it say? Barn murder? Someone murdered a barn?
Сарайное убийство. Там написано что-то. Че по бабкам? По бабкам ничего. Посуду всякую продаю. Давай дверь откроем, чтобы в следующий раз в окно не надо было залезать, не?
Barn means child, and mortar, that's...
Child murder. Edward, they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store.
Удивительно, что они его не сожгли.
I'm not sure how I feel about being in here.
Don't be ridiculous. We're all alone. What else do you suggest we do?
Так, ну погнали по очереди. Тут шляпа. В правом хз шо.
Damnation. The hat's in here.
Calm down, old boy. Anyway, how's a hat going to help us?
Who knows what else is in here? There could be more clues.
All right. Okay. Everything's Jake. We made it into the store. I'm sure we'll find a way through that door.
These were never sent.
How long have they been piling up?
I received Mrs. Fretland's letter in June, and they received my letter from July.
A couple of months. Perhaps the world forgot about Grovik.
Да, похоже на то, что все забыли о существовании этого места.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it anymore.
Толкается.
S-O-S.
Важное знание, кстати, наизусть помнить сос. На всякий случай.
Oh boy. If only this thing worked. We could order a boat to come get us. Or, even better, order some hot grub.
Дети. Билл Саймон, Фра, Рут. Ключ. Надеюсь, там будет ключ от двери. Или от
What are you
двери.
doing?
Looking for keys.
Your life of crime continues.
The keys are all gone.
Some thieving thieves beat you to it. Rascals.
There's a note.
Is it written in Viking runes? What does it say?
It's from Simon. Yai put it means I put. Knuckle is key. Casa. I don't know what that word means.
He put the key in the casa?
Casa. I wish I had my dictionary. The note's addressed to his father.
So the key was moved. But where to?
Somewhere safer. Or more convenient.
Кассу.
Can we really trust your translations? You only started studying a month ago.
I spent the summer reading, and I had a lot of free time on the ocean voyage.
Come on, how much could you possibly pick up in a few months?
You know my mind, it's a sponge.
А, есть такие люди, которые очень быстро всему учатся. Так что, леди, ваша вот этот скептицизм. А,
Casa.
касса.
So that's what it means. Cash register.
Так.
You're a genuine gangster now, old fruit. Don't worry. If you get busted, I'll come visit you in the big house. Wasn't there supposed to be a key?
Here it is.
Все, бабки уже теперь нельзя потрогать. Ну, в принципе, нахрен они нужны. А теперь можно и посмотреть сюда.
Why would Frederick keep a list of what he calls traitors?
What did they do to him?
Cross him in some way? Why else keep a list of undesirables?
Все, наверное, кто в деревне живут, в список в этот попали. Во. Наконец-то. Можно открыть дверь, чтобы в окна не лазить каждый раз. Шляпа и записка. Так. Взаимодействовать тобой мне.
It is her hat.
Teddy, I'm not
Betty
sure
was
that's...
here, and not long ago.
Okay, but if that is her hat, what's it doing in a locked storeroom?
Another breadcrumb.
That's not an answer.
I know for sure she was here. That's what matters.
You know best, Edward. So, what now? If this is a breadcrumb, where's the next one?
There must be a reason her hat's in this room.
Наверное, стоит
What's
прочитать.
that?
A handwritten note.
I'm not blind. What does it say, you silly goose?
It's hard to read. I'm not sure my translation will be... Johann, you... Nectar. Refuse. You refuse to speak to me, so I write this letter instead. It's from Frederick Fretland to his brother. Simon did not... Bloody hell. Simon did not murder your Ruth. He was fond of his cousin.
Ruth. Ruth is the daughter of Anna and Johann, which means
Значит,
the
она
little girl in
умерла.
the photograph at the farmhouse. Oh, Edward. The Fretland girl was murdered. This is simply awful.
Simon was working at the farm while I tended to the store. I would have seen him had he passed on the way up to the cliffs.
They thought Simon killed Ruth. His own cousin.
Ruth was... What's that word? Playing. Ruth was always playing on the rocks below the church. She must have fallen by accident. The note ends there. Frederick never finished it. And Johann never read it. Not that it would have made a difference. If Johann
The
thought...
mob showed up for Simon. His father would have tried to protect him.
September 17th. You would have been here, Betty.
Rocks below the church. Isn't the church right above us? Edward, come look at this. That's the cliff. Right there. The one in the note? I bet you 1,000,000 clams.
Так.
Where?
See for yourself.
I guess that could be where...
Let's check it out.
No, Lissy, wait.
Конечно, wait. Она уже бежит. Ну да, вон она. Не надо было дверь открывать ключом. Ну, то есть не ключом с этого. Замок открывать, короче. Тут интересно, вот несколько взаимодействий разных есть. То есть, например, бабки можно было потрогать в кассе.
Teddy, up here. I found it, Teddy. The cliff. I'm standing right below it.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
A
us.
little girl died. We're staying in her home, for God's sake. Are you completely without heart? Get yourself up here, Edward Harden, right this minute.
И как сюда подняться? Капец, она на приколе, конечно.
It's an easy climb.
This looks very dangerous.
Oh, you're a big boy. Start acting like it. It's not Mount Everest.
I don't know about this. Whoops-a-daisy.
Камень цветной какой-то интересный. А еще выше?
What is this?
Where little Ruth died.
You're being morbid. And this is a distraction. I'm here for Betty, not because some girl got
Edward.
herself...
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With
Иди
only
доколопай.
books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and years. There are other people in this world, you know. It's not all about you. You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened to the poor girl. Together.
It's a long fall. Far enough to crush the girl's
Да,
skull.
череп любого, чтоб
Edward, Charles
разбился.
Harden.
What?
Oh, you're hopeless.
That It's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful.
Тут кровище
I
тоже,
think there's
кстати.
something behind it. Can you move the rock aside?
Куколка. Без головы.
It must be Ruth's.
Where's the head?
Maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. Looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong on a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin? Let's go further up. Maybe we'll find more clues. Come on, old sport. It's not far.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath?
F.
Huh. Did you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just stumbling through darkness?
Да ладно, тебя вон козы бегают, и им окей вообще, лазят где угодно.
You can see clear beyond the edge of the world.
One
Oh,
second.
Teddy Bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So, the girl fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean? Can you see where she fell? Seeing as you're so concerned about me falling out of trees, I wouldn't want to risk falling off a cliff.
Вы не свались.
Certainly high enough to kill a child.
If I had to go, this would be the way to do it. Soaring through the air like a bird.
And landing like a rock. If she fell head first on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward, honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
I'm not. What was she doing up here in the first place?
Playing? She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not.
Да, конечно.
Time for this nonsense. We're running out of daylight, and Betty's still
Прямо втопила.
out there.
Прыгай. Скалы. Мы к шахте так и не
Лисси.
сходили.
Slow down.
Куда?
I can't keep up with you. Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy? Are you there?
Да ты запарил, убежала, Лисси. Уже видел. Ну, тут водопадик близко. Мы сейчас где-то за церковью должны выйти. О,
Teddy,
My word. Look away, Lissy.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
What about those fresh graves at the church? There were at least half a dozen of them. Did everyone just die?
They're not necessarily connected.
Oh, come on. This is just ghastly. What made him do this? How long has he been?
From the state of the body, perhaps a couple of weeks. It depends on temperature and humidity, of course.
все, договорили. Можно теперь
What
посмотреть,
does
что там
that say?
написано.
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother drowned
Don't.
herself? Sorry.
Пруд.
Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick, and he's too old to be Simon. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. It's tragic, but really none of my
Oh,
concern.
Betty, always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. What if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty.
Еще, да, вот со стулом какое-то взаимодействие было, я видел.
What are you doing? You can't just pull him down by his legs. Try loosening the noose.
I can't reach that far.
Ну, сейчас со стульчика дотянешься, ничего страшного.
I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse.
Мотивирует прям. Так, чё, черный экран? Дальше-то будет что? А, понятно.
Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight,
They're not coming back.
perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened?
Это ты считаешь, что это убийство? Я считаю, что это несчастный случай.
Penny for your thoughts?
Perhaps she fell by accident.
So you don't think it was murder?
It's difficult to say with any certainty. The boy could have pushed her.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
All right. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking.
Ну, давай разговаривать. Не, нельзя? Крест он рисует.
I really thought I'd find Betty today.
Well, I told you not to get your hopes up, Edward. I mean, we just got here. It's a big place. She could be anywhere.
It's just the thought of her alone out there. In the dark.
She's a tough cookie. Your Betty. Tougher than you, teddy bear.
That she is.
Прям мясо вам похавайте. Вот, теперь прочитать можно. До этого нельзя было.
What did you find?
Someone tried to burn this.
Just like the book. Isn't that odd?
It's addressed to Mrs. Fretland. My dearest Anna. It's from her sister, Margaret. Frederick's wife. The two brothers married sisters, remember?
Yes, and it's adorable. Keep reading.
I really shouldn't.
Really? How else are we going to figure out what happened? Keep reading.
My dearest Anna, I miss you so very, very much. The baby is due soon, and I wish for our family to reunite before... It's been 7 years since the dreadful incident at the mine. Can we not convince Frederick and Johann to forgive and forget? I know there are things Frederick has not told me about what they found and why they parted ways. Their grudge is tearing us all apart. Frederick won't even let me speak to half of our neighbors, accusing them of treason. He's so very angry and full of regrets. It's eating him up. And we...
And we what?
The rest is unreadable.
Margaret reached out to her sister, but I guess it didn't work.
This was written before Simon was born, but burned recently.
Ну как сожжено? Была попытка сожжения. Может быть, муж нашел письмо и решил его сжечь.
I feel restless.
You should sleep.
I'm not sure I can. But yes, I'll try. In a bit.
А, вы огонь развели? И что, и книгу сожгли?
Do you think Simon killed Ruth?
It's not important what I think.
I don't know what to believe. Sometimes children do monstrous things. It's almost painful to look at this photograph now. Their whole world fell apart. Ugh, I can't bear to think about it. Now that we know what happened to Ruth, this empty house is even spookier.
It's a house, nothing more.
You know better than most that souls can linger. Especially if they died
There's
in...
no such thing as a soul.
Life force. Ghost. Whatever. You know exactly what I'm talking
Сразу видно
about.
человек истории.
Only
Ой,
ghosts
истории
are in
это
our
науки.
minds.
Says you.
Человек науки, отрицающий души.
The two brothers married twin sisters, Anna and Margaret Taylor. That's the Grovik stave church behind them.
All those hopes and dreams. Ground to dust by misfortune.
Что тут еще есть? А, книга? Они её положили все-таки.
I almost forgot putting this aside when I lit the fire. Wasn't there an inscription inside?
Была.
Simon. Simon gave that book to Ruth. But who burned it?
Johann or Anna, if they believed Simon killed her.
But they were friendly, right? Simon and Ruth. Before...
I imagine so. And we know the sisters were close.
I still don't understand why the brothers had a falling out.
Whatever drove a wedge between them, it was big.
Он же там говорит в письме, что он что-то не договорил. Из-за чего они поссорились.
The mine must have been a big deal for Greywoke.
Grovik. An opportunity to do more than live hand to mouth.
What a blow it must have been to lose it all. So the brother who owns the store
Frederick.
was angry with Johann before Ruth.
Because of the mine. It all comes back to the mine. Johann and Frederick Fretland. Thick as thieves, before things took a turn.
Don't you always say that much of our pain is self-chosen?
I wonder about that.
Значит, завтра, я думаю, в шахту придется идти. Не, ну тут мы уже все читали, правильно?
These headlines make more sense now. Johann sells his share, and the cave-in occurs shortly thereafter, killing 3 people.
Including the younger brother.
The investor pulls out, leaving Frederick with the bills.
Oh, I feel awful for everyone. Losing a brother, losing the business.
There were no happy endings here.
Да. В жизни так бывает. Что никакого хэппи-энда. Что еще? А, шляпу.
What are you doing?
Betty will want these back.
I don't think it's healthy
Not now,
to...
please. I'm exhausted.
Я надеюсь, он потом не найдет ее лицо, не приделает его сюда, к манекену.
You do look exhausted. Go to bed, Edward. I'll tuck you in.
Он как будто в зеркале не так выглядит, как когда картину рисуют какую-то. По крайней мере, мне так кажется.
Quite the day, huh?
I'm ready to pass out. Where will you sleep?
I'll be up for a while. My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlands arriving.
Of course. And I'll keep my eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There are no...
Hush now. Sleep.
Как кошка будет следить. Еще ачивку дали, 1 дома. Ну, видимо, за завершенный день. Так. Пойдем манекен трогать. Такое ощущение, как будто было какое-то взаимодействие еще вот здесь слева.
Lissy!
Right up the stairs, Teddy.
Да-да, я понял, что наверху.
Teddy? Is that you?
Lissy?
In the bedroom.
Надеюсь, там одетая.
This is her room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth.
Так я здесь был.
Imagine. One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then... nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic.
Melodramatic.
I'll help you look. There's still no sign of the Fretlands.
Maybe they left town after Ruth died.
What's the point of this? I should be looking for Betty.
I hate you sometimes. Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
The community divided.
И слева вон злой батя. И справа тоже батя злой.
She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
something important enough to draw.
Родители что, не видели, что она это нарисовала?
Draugen.
Hey, the undead monster from those folk tales you read.
What an odd book for a child to have.
I don't know. Children love scary stories. This looks interesting. Read some of it to me, please.
А узнаем, почему игра так называется и кто такой Драуген.
In Norwegian folklore, the appearance of Draugen, the reanimated corpse of a drowned mariner, heralds death. Draugen haunts the black seas in a shattered boat. The beast has a man's body and wears a sou'wester, but instead of a head, there is tangled seaweed, and the revenant's chilling cry freezes mortal blood to ice. Draugen has the power to enter the dreams of the living. If you wake from such a dream, you have been spared, though someone close to you... That's enough of that. It's nonsense, of course. Not something a child should be reading.
Do you think Draugen took our boat? Maybe he's out there, on the fjord, waiting for nightfall so he can return to shore.
No.
Your soul lacks poetry, Edward Charles Harden. I pity you. That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear.
Медведь.
She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today? Betty's not the only person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth?
Если Бетти это его сестра, то кто вот эта Лиса, которая... О, я не видел этого.
Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
Драуген.
It looks a bit like the Draugen in her book.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew... It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out.
С Драугена призовем.
What is this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. Well, they belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were
Булавка
just
такая же, как на кукле.
shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
This is where it came from, her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
If we're to believe her drawing, perhaps the mine. She may have found a gravesite. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
Ну, может быть. Ну что, в шахту
There's a
пойдем?
story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
She didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic
This
events.
is what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
The church bell. Someone's here. Maybe Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in
Бетти,
trouble.
Бетти.
I need to
Заколебал
get to the
уже
church right
реально.
now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We
I
should be careful.
told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think about all of this.
Чё, погнали? Посмотрим, что там. А твой ключ, который ты нашел в магазине, случайно не подходит к этой двери? Случайно не подходит. Так, а теперь книгу эту можно почекать? Можно. Уф. 3 августа 1923 года. Сегодня на завтрак у меня вместо чая был кипяток без сахара с лимонным соком. Еще я съела половинку яблока и кусочек подсушенного хлеба. В последнее время я что-то поправилась. Об этой диете я прочитала в газете. Судя по всему, в Лондоне она невероятно популярна. Но я просто ужасно голодна и мечтаю о яичнице с сосисками. Следующий день, 4 августа. Вчера мы получили странное письмо, адресованное Йохану, от одного американского джентльмена по имени Эдвард Хэрден. Он из Ханновера, штат Массачусетс. Письмо очень вежливое и написано хорошим языком. Наш адрес мистеру Хардену сообщили в полиции в Олессуне, когда он попросил дать ему какой-нибудь контакт в Гровике. Я удивлена, что они сказали ему обратиться к Йохану, а не к Фредерику, но, возможно, это потому, что нашей дорогой Маргарет больше нет. Господи, что нашей дорогой Маргарет больше нет. А мне проще ответить на английском, чем Фредерику. В письме мистер Харден спрашивал о своей сестре Элизабет Харден, путешествующей в одиночку. По-видимому, она журналистка. Представьте себе, пересечь Атлантику, чтобы написать о Норвегии. Звучит просто чудесно. В письме сказано, что Элизабет телеграфировала брату из Алисуна и сообщила, что планирует посетить Гровик. Не представляю, что могло побудить ее приехать в это тихое, скучное старое место. Здесь же стало совершенно не о чем писать. Его сестра еще не приехала. Если бы она уже была здесь, я замучила бы ее расспросами об Америке, о ее журналистской жизни и о том, как ей путешествуется. Мне кажется, у нее такая интересная жизнь. Надеюсь, она и правда приедет. Хотя, уверена, и здесь будет до смерти скучно. Я напишу сегодня ответ мистеру Хардену. Йохан небольшой любитель писать письма, особенно на английском. Он согласен, что мы должны пригласить мистера Хардена остановиться у нас, если он решит приехать. В конце концов, в Гровике нет гостиниц, а нашу свободную комнату мы практически не используем. К тому же, должна признать, гость из Америки, это звучит невероятно здорово. 5 августа. Следующий день получается. Сегодня на завтрак я съела вареное яйцо и тост с маслом. Йохан сказал мне, что я занимаюсь глупостями. Мне не надо вообще худеть. Тем более, что мы не в Лондоне и никому нет никакого дела. Так. Я написала мистеру Хардену и пригласила его остановиться у нас, если он решит приехать. Я в таком возбуждении. Только я беспокоюсь о его сестре. Где бы она могла быть? 9 августа. Сегодня в магазине был скандал. Фредерик кричал на бедную Астрид, заявляя, что ее козы пасутся на его земле. Я хотела вступиться за нее, но знала, что это его только еще больше разозлило бы. 10 августа. Йохан поплыл сегодня через фьорд купить кое-что нужное, в том числе новую ткань, и забрать почту. Письма скапливаются в магазине. Иногда мне становится страшно. Кажется, весь мир просто забыл о нас. 17 августа. Я дошила еще одно платье, на сей раз для себя. Клиентов больше нет, никому не нужны новые платья. И мы уже целую вечность не выезжали в город. Я там совсем никого не знаю. Да и кому нужны платья, сшитые в Гровике, если можно купить изготовленные в ателье в Алисуне? Чувствую себя такой одинокой. Теперь, спустя столько лет, мне так не хватает моей милой Маргарет. 20 августа. Мне кажется, Рут что-то от меня скрывает. Она стала ужасно скрытной. Ходит одна еще чаще, чем раньше, и постоянно возвращается в испачканной одежде. Конечно, я не возражаю, чтобы она гуляла и играла на свежем воздухе. Мне всегда было жаль, что нам с Маргарет не позволяли бегать и резвиться, когда мы были маленькими. Рут говорит, что она просто ищет цветочки и красивые камушки. Наверняка мне не нужно так сильно переживать. 21 августа. Заходил Симон, так он же Саймон. Принес подарок для Рут, целую плитку шоколада. Он чудесный мальчик, но Фредерик будет в ярости, если узнает об этом визите. 22 августа. Я спросила Рут, не играет ли она наверху у фермы Фредерика или возле старой шахты. Она заверила меня, что нет. У меня никогда не было причин не верить ей. Но все же я чувствую, что она что-то от меня скрывает. Пока ее не было, я посмотрела на ее рисунки. Какое же у нее живое воображение. 5 сентября. Мы получили еще одно письмо от мистера Хардена. Он будет здесь в октябре, как и было запланировано. Жду не дождусь возможности наконец с кем-нибудь побеседовать. Пусть даже это всего на несколько дней. Не то чтобы Йохан был плохим собеседником, но нам почти не о чем говорить, если не считать повседневного жития-бытия. Никаких известий о сестре мистера Хардена так и нет. Если она уже несколько недель как покинула Лиссу, где же она может быть? Она могла, конечно, решить остановиться где-то по дороге. Мы ничего не слышали. Но в последнее время мы редко говорим с кем-нибудь не из Гроувика. Я надеюсь, с ней все в порядке. Было бы ужасно, если бы мистер Харден проделал такой долгий путь впустую. У Рут все тот же таинственный вид. Я знаю, что она что-то скрывает. На днях надо будет проследить за ней. Так. То было 5 сентября, потом 9. Сегодня в церкви опять не было службы. Викарий так и не вернулся после поминальной службы в июле. Йохан считает, что он и не вернется, и что он махнул на Гровик рукой, как и все остальные. По-моему, я вот-вот слягу с простудой. 15 сентября. Кто-то ночью повредил нашу лодку. Это уже 3 за месяц. Йохан, разумеется, подозревает Фредерика. Я боюсь, что что-то ужасное снова. Так. Ага, через столько лет может вырваться на поверхность. Мне очень нехорошо почти весь вчерашний день, да и сегодняшний. И я провела в постели. Рут была умничкой. Она принесла мне картофельный суп и чай с молоком и медом. 18 сентября. Она покинула нас. Нашей дорогой Рут больше нет. Я не верю, что это сделал Саймон. Теперь его тоже нет. А с ним пропала и последняя надежда, которая еще оставалась у Гроувика. Да уж. Такая себе у них тут история. Мы уже играли, больше играть смысла не вижу. Тут надпись опять осталась каким-то. Что прочитать? А это чего? А, нарисовать? Давай нарисуем. Забагалась фигня с прочитать. Теперь слева внизу постоянно отображается кнопка. Так, показывай, что намалевал. Кроватка. Так, ну это прочитать, судя по всему, так и останется со мной до конца игры. А, не, ништяк, отбагалась. Чему я несказанно рад.
Лисси?
Так, чё, Лисси? Я там вон прочитал в книге.
Are you coming?
In a minute. You go on ahead.
А куда идти-то? В шахту? В любом случае надо валить из дома. А, точно, в шахту. Там же он в колокол кто-то звонит. Я уже и забыл. А, здесь просто сесть теперь. Второй раз рисовать уже нецелесообразно, понимаю. Текстурка камушка такая превратилась. Березки. Не только в России, значит, они растут. Хоть они и ассоциируются почему-то именно с ней. Это коза, да? Шевелится. Ничего нового.
All these fresh graves.
Тоже тут?
Think that maybe
No.
Betty,
I'd know.
but
You wouldn't understand. Elizabeth and I, we have a bond.
Элизабет, это Бетти, да?
Edward, your obsession with her is really starting to grate.
The bell's still ringing.
Let's check inside the church.
Чё вы посмотрите, она же заколочена.
No one's touched these since yesterday. Regardless of how they got past the boards, there's someone in there.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Can you peek through the boards? See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
Ну, возможно, кто-то есть. И чего, кого, куда? Doски ломать будем?
Hello? I heard the bell.
This is giving me
I'm
the
here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Ну так, ломай. Не, опять черный экран.
The Ethelmer comes in Edward. I didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here.
There are no ghosts.
I don't know about that.
Как будто надпись какая-то была, когда я вот так вот голову повернул. А, во, веревки. Есть
What's this
надпись.
rope for?
The bell.
This is the bell we heard ringing?
I don't see any other bells.
So you have to stand here and pull this rope to ring it.
Yes.
But there was no one here. You didn't see anyone, right?
No. No one.
Ghosts. I'm telling you, it's ghosts. So what happened to the hunchback of Grovik?
They must be here still. There's only the one exit.
Maybe it was the wind.
A church bell's too heavy. It can't have been the wind. I mean... I don't know. Maybe it was the wind. There's no one here.
Сейчас колокол на башку упадет.
I don't like that sound. Please stop.
Так, окей, ладно, давай здесь осмотримся, а потом уже будем дальше тянуть колокол. Мне кажется, он упасть должен. Я, конечно, не уверен.
Lissy, look.
Перчатки
Betty's
Бетти?
gloves.
Ну, конечно.
They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
Pete's
these
sake.
in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day she... She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves, her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a
Betty
labyrinth.
will have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill.
Так мы ради этой Бетти сюда и прибыли, ты что?
What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here. Their faith was challenged, and it didn't survive. The church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead...
Her name would be in the book.
Страница вырвана.
Tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. We need to find all the pages. How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me.
Ну, там вот одна лежит, вот одна лежит.
They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. This was an act of desperation and anger.
I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are. The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you. Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic. I've never seen you read the Bible before.
I've read the Bible many times. It's an important historical document. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Old English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes.
Угу. Не просто так они подчеркнуты. Так.
Found another one. You get it. It's right here.
Я помню, что она тут была.
Just one more page missing.
Тяни еще раз. И еще раз.
Stop it.
Не, ну я думаю, здесь как бы умереть нельзя, потому что здесь нельзя сохраняться. Хотя... Нормально тебе тут
What are you
против?
doing? We're in a
По
church.
церковным лавкам
Thought you didn't
ходить.
believe in God.
I do believe in civility.
The missing pages must be here somewhere.
Это что, свеча? О! Я почему-то думал, что это какая-то лестница наверх. Но нет.
What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, and move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
It sounds like Grovik was split in two, between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon's from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and
Про шахту,
disagreements.
наверное, тема.
Tilly Verandra.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly. But I wonder if they were even here.
Remember the wedding picture? They were close friends once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us. Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune.
Ну так проще. Сказать, да, там нас прокляли и все, и мы здесь ни при чем. Так. Тумбочку эту нельзя убрать. Где страница последняя? Еще раз прочитать. А, я понял. Где страница последняя? Я эту и без тебя видел. А буду в колокол звонить.
Stop it.
Пока он на голову нам не упадет. Тут
Where are you
вроде
going?
не было страниц. Какая темнота, вообще ни хрена не видно.
Where are you going?
Куда надо, туда и иду. Да, здесь нет нифига. Где страница-то последняя? Не похоже, чтобы она где-то тут была. Я будем звонить, значит, до посинения.
Stop it.
Чё это прекратить-то? Иди страницы ищи. Уходишь здесь
Stop it.
просто так. И контрольный. Дзынь.
Stop it.
Чё стапает?
We need to find all the pages.
Ну, ты помочь не хочешь мне? Или я пипец слепой и не вижу, она где-то на видном месте находится. Да вроде не видно ее. Свечи только.
For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Old English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
Ну,
I
здесь
consider it
вряд
as a
ли
secret
что-то
place.
где-то среди
For them to
беспорядка
destroy
и
it.
всего остального.
This was an act of desperation and anger.
Фиг пойми вообще, где он находится. Хоть стой в колокол звони дальше.
Stop it.
Это что за стол? Здесь не может быть этой стороны. А, господи, какой я слепой.
2 for 2. A tie. Good job, Teddy, old
Stop,
bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Betty's out there.
Of horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Biddy, biddy, biddy. Will you ever shut up about your precious Betty? Put those pages back in the book, and I'll stop trying to cheer you up.
This book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the third Fretland brother. The one who died in a cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
Предатель, типа?
What does that mean again?
Curse.
А, проклятие.
That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
Look here.
Все прокляты в конце.
Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died. Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, a half-dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Как умирали?
If it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom. For a
Traitor.
Edward? What's wrong?
The final entry. There's no name. Alice, what if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty.
It doesn't mean she's...
She's not dead. She can't be. I'd know. I'd know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me!
Так пошли со мной, что ты стоишь-то?
Edward!
You better not be here, Betty. I'll never forgive you.
А где? Какую ты могилу хочешь посмотреть? А, с лопатой которая?
This one. It's unmarked.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward, stop it!
Ну да, шиза какая-то у чела явно.
Thank God. It's not her. It's not Betty. It's not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
It's not Elizabeth.
Труп выкопал, что он сделал?
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister like
Or
that.
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us? You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just leave me be.
Fine.
Опаньки.
Alice? Come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back. I need you.
Че, с ума сошел, и тебе все это кажется, что ли, родной? Без гроба похоронили чела, причем на такой глубине, что его собаки выкопать могут. Если они, конечно, тут есть. Вот это поворот. Все, звони в колокол. Не, нельзя.
I was afraid you'd left me. Now listen to me. No!
Не успел ничего сказать ей, пока выбирал варианты.
Lissy? Where are you?
А, вон она сидит.
Lissy.
Все-таки игра ведет меня коридорами куда-то, куда я должен пойти.
Lissy, please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Of course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish she was!
Don't.
You deserve to be alone.
Она что, тоже умерла? И ему кажется, что она с ним была все это время. Ничего себе. Вот это поворот.
Please, talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
You think you own me? That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day? That I'm your puppet? Your little plaything? Well, fuck you, Edward Charles Harden! I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase!
Now, be reasonable.
Так.
Lissy? Alice? No! No, no, no! What are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate us.
Now listen to me. Please, listen. Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me. I need you. I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no, 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 no! What? No!
Жесть.
Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please don't.
You make me sick, Edward. Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you. We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No, Never. Never. I never forget. I am never alone.
Так, интересно. Что у него с кукухой? Получено достижение, все меняется. Но это, видимо, да, за прохождение дня.
Wake up, Edward. Stop hiding.
Что это за статуя?
Where you go, we go, Edward. You cannot hide from us.
Where's Lissy?
Alice is not here.
Bring her back. Please. I need her.
Alice does not love Elizabeth like you do.
She loves me.
Not like I do, Edward.
I'm so tired. Please.
What do you want?
I think of you so often. You have no idea.
You just want me to forgive you so that we can keep looking for your precious, perfect Betty.
She needs us.
She never needed you, Teddy Bear. And she certainly doesn't need us.
I can't find her on my own.
Well, it's just too bad, my darling Edward. Because we're done playing second fiddle to little sis.
Wait, don't go. I'm talking to you, Lissy. Oh.
Он завел себе воображаемого друга. Все, не будем трогать. Ну да, чемодан один, вещей как бы этой девчули нет.
Listen. Please. Lissy. You can't keep vanishing on me.
Try me.
Why are you so angry?
You do not know anger, Edward.
Did you ever meet my father?
Alice does not want to speak with you.
And what about you? Are you going to help me?
God helps those who help themselves.
I don't need God's help. I need Lissy.
Do you, though? Did you ever?
What? Of course, Lissy? Lissy!
Где она?
Alice. Don't go. Hear me out. I depend on you both.
You can never depend on other people, Edward.
I'm not sure you count as other people.
Everyone leaves, one way or another.
You don't. You can't.
Is that a challenge?
Stop playing games.
Are you ordering me, Teddy Bear?
I'm asking you.
Didn't your father always tell you to stand up for yourself? To be a real man and not a sissy? Maybe that's why he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Kaboom! He was so disappointed about what his only son had turned into.
You're a monster.
Takes one to know one. Old fruit.
Так, интересно. И сюжет-то накрутили. Где она теперь?
Lissy, get back here.
Ну да, здесь вряд ли. Мне кажется, на улицу надо идти. Хотя, может быть, и на второй этаж.
I gave you this jacket. Betty. You were here. Alice, be reasonable. Lissy, I'm tired of chasing you. I'm trying to talk to you. Lissy, look. Her jacket. I'm sure it wasn't here yesterday, which means
Christ,
Betty was
Teddy.
here. Perhaps when we were out yesterday.
Betty,
she must have...
Betty, 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 Betty.
You love Betty more than you love us. But don't you see? What has Betty done that we haven't? What can she do that we cannot? We've always been there for you. Why do you keep looking for her?
She's real. You're not.
So?
What? You decide what is real. We are real to you.
It will never be the same.
Нормально, он завел себе воображаемых друзей, чтобы не свихнуться.
She does not want you.
Who are you talking to?
Why do you think Betty left? She was sick and tired of us. She wanted to escape.
Like mother.
Drowning herself because she couldn't stand being around us.
Like father.
Bang! Right in the coconut.
Stop.
You drive them all away, Edward. All into death.
But not us. We're always here for you.
I beg you.
You are never alone.
Stop! Leave me alone, both of you.
You want to be alone?
You really want to be alone?
Fine. You're alone.
Good.
Lissy,
Нету Лисси. Ты же их выгнал только что.
come back. Please. Don't leave me.
То есть сначала ты говоришь, что ты хочешь, чтобы они свалили, а теперь ты говоришь не оставлять тебя. Пипец, ты интересный, конечно, тип. Всё, закрыто до сих пор. И тут никого не будет. Все, валим тогда. Нашел какую-то одежду, может быть, на манекен ее накинуть, или она уже на манекене. Так, что там еще нужно? Заколку какую-то с цветочком. А что, день прошел, типа? Получено достижение «Я не один». День 5. Сколько тут дней всего, интересно? Я думал, мы в шахты сходим, там что-нибудь поизучаем еще.
Betty? Elizabeth? Is that you?
Там что, снег пошел?
Are you upstairs? Betty, I'm coming.
Ага, есть там что-то. Так. Я уже думал, сейчас что-то другое увижу в зеркале. В батиной комнате, так там же закрыто.
Betty? Betty? Are you in there? Open the door. I'm coming in. Stand away from the door.
Оп. Оп. Минус плечо.
Betty? No. No, 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 no. Oh. Oh, thank you.
Это
Thank you.
мать семейства.
thought it was you, Betty. But who? Anna.
Ну да. Анна.
It's from Johann, addressed to his wife. Did you notice the handwriting, Betty? He was clearly distraught. Knock ere knock. Enough is enough. After decades of strife, I pray that God will... Tilly, forgive me. I am tired of secrets. For 20 years I've kept my silence about our discovery, but my silence has only led to misfortune, and my cowardice has only led to death. I will make Frederick pay for what he has done to us, for what they have done to our Ruth. When it is over, I will let the ocean take me to you and Ruth. May God forgive me. Anna was already dead when he wrote this. He had no one else to confess to. What now, Betty? Johann went to confront his brother, probably at Frederick's farm. And then?
Когда, блин, поубивали они друг друга, я не знаю, там столько свежих могил. Не, в это зеркало нельзя смотреться.
You said this was a gift from another unlucky suitor. It was precious to you. You wouldn't have left it here unless... A signpost. A breadcrumb.
Прыгай в окно.
You followed Johann to Frederick Fretland's farm, and then to the mine. You
Го на
wouldn't let this
ферму.
go, Betty. You'd follow your story to the end. All the way to the end.
А, все? Я думал, меня сейчас переместит туда быстро. Но я думаю, вряд ли там что-то новое добавилось. Зажигалку пойдем в манекену в карман положим. Или нет? Ну, судя по всему, нет. А, это мне показывает, где ферма
So
находится.
where is Frederick's farm? The railroad tracks. You must have seen them, Betty. They lead to the mine. The farm is on the way to the mine, isn't that so, Betty? Are you still at the farm? Or did you go all the way to the mine? I need to see what you saw. Follow your story. The red thread you left for me. I'm on my way, Betty.
Betty?
What led you to this place? All these fragments. You would piece them together into a story, wouldn't you, Betty? So, what do we know? Johann and Frederick are partners, and on good terms.
Были когда-то.
But something happens in the mind. Disagreements lead to a falling out. And at the end of it all, 20 years later, Johann walks this path to confront Frederick.
Ну все, можно бежать. Спасибо.
Was this your doing, Johann? Did you burn your brother's farm to the ground? And where were you, Betty? Did you witness their fall?
Так, один момент. Не, вроде с стримом все окей. Продолжить. Ничего нет. Удивительно, что не заставлен этот сарай, как все остальные заставлены были.
Betty!
Так, а что это мы подлагивать начали? Сейф остался. Прикольно.
What do you reckon, Betty?
Ага. Типа нет? Не подошло? Ну, это значит, нам предстоит выяснить еще. Так, а почему здесь лагает игруха? Там вон могильные камни. Может быть, дата смерти чья-то? Так, можно лагать перестать? Алло.
Betty?
Все, запомнил дату. Надеюсь, вручную не придется выводить ничего, потому что я на нее просто посмотрел и забил. Могила Саймона, вот она как раз таки свежая.
Simon's grave. Born December 5th, 1909. Died September 17th, 1923. The safe. Frederick would choose numbers that meant something to him. Why bury Simon here, and not at the cemetery?
Ну вот
His wife's
видишь.
grave is also here. Perhaps Frederick wanted nothing to do with the church, or with their god. I could really use your imagination, Betty. You'd figure this out in no time.
У него тут свое кладбище. Ему вообще нафиг не нужно. Так, мы тут забежим. Забежим.
Are you here, Betty?
Ну, значит, днюха Саймона.
Twice Simon's birthday. Another Viking artifact, Betty. Most likely from the same treasure Ruth found.
Так, а тут что пишут?
Postmarked in Boston. That's a curious coincidence. Dear Frederick, I hope this letter, it's in English, Betty. Hope this letter finds you and the boy in good health. We're concerned about you both. No word from you for almost 2 years now. All of us still heartbroken about Margaret's passing. We know things have been difficult for you and Simon. Mr. Fretland, we expect you to take care of this problem. If the discovery is made public, the authorities will intervene and the mine will be shut down. Should this happen, we will consider it a breach of our contract, and we will withdraw our investment. You and your brother will be responsible for all debts and losses. Johann must be convinced to wall up the chamber. We've already dealt with the worker who made the discovery.
Так.
The Fretland Mining Company. I wonder what this unlocks.
От чего? От шахты?
You went to the mine. I hope our guardian angel watched over you.
А, это вот это и был ангел-хранитель?
All right, Betty. So what happens next in your story? Johann and Frederick discover something in the mine. A cave or chamber of archaeological value. They argue about what to do. If the discovery is made public, it's the end of their enterprise. Johann is convinced or paid to walk away. Their secret stays hidden.
Так.
Then, a few months later, the accident. 3 men die. The investors pull out. The mine shuts down. Frederick's up to his neck in debt.
Снег пошел, игра лагать начала, что ли? Чуть не понимаю. Так. А, ой, есть что почитать.
Cursed mine in Grovik. Locals struggle with bad crops and livestock deaths and blame it on... They thought they were cursed because of the mine. A thing like that becomes self-fulfilling. If you believe you're cursed, every misfortune feeds the delusion.
Да, так это и работает. Самовнушение.
So, 20 years pass. The Fretland feud tears the village apart, setting neighbor against neighbor. And then, Ruth stumbles across the secret in the mine. After all this time, the truth may finally come to light, but she dies. And the day after, Simon is murdered.
Грациозно спустился по доске по этой.
Old grievances resurface. No matter who you stand with, you're a traitor. Things escalate. More people die. From disease, despair, suicides, murder.
Мне кажется, в шахте-то уже ничего не должно быть. Они же нашли там какую-то комнату и выпустили зло, которое там было заточено.
All because of the mine. Because of what they found there. And what they covered up. There was no one to stop it, Betty. They were alone. That's the real curse of Grovik. Isolation. This place is cursed. Ridiculous.
А вот и голова от куклы.
Ruth was here the day she fell. Something spooked her, and then she ran all the way to the cliff where... Do you know what happened, Betty?
Да,
Did you
конечно.
witness it?
Именно так все и было.
Hello? Betty, are you in there?
А, фонарь, конечно же, брать мы не будем никакой. А, у нас зажигалка есть. Кстати, в шахтах может выделяться газ. Поэтому зажигать зажигалки в шахтах — это заведомо провально и очень опасно. Что там, еще одна эта заколка? А, ну вот, это как раз таки заколка с ее
This is
пальто.
Mother's brooch. You always
Брошь,
wore
точно,
this.
не заколка.
You wouldn't take it off unless... You left it here for a reason.
Ну, она там уже без одежды должна быть. Будем в дырку заглядывать? Будут ли нас пугать? Не будут, всего лишь ворона вылетела. А, все, типа сейчас шахта рухнет. Еще раз. Ну все. Теперь не узнаешь, какую тайну хранила эта шахта.
Betty? Elizabeth? Is that you?
Edward? Where are you?
I'm on my way, Betty. Wait for me.
Кукуха привет передает.
Stay where you are.
Там
I'm coming.
сбросить написано.
Edward, where are you?
А, не, она лагает именно вот здесь. Именно возле этого дома. Да, FPS-ик проседает.
Edward, please, hurry!
I'm coming, Betty.
Да бегу.
Edward!
I'm almost there.
Так интересно, она, ну типа ему говорит Эдвард, сама сваливает дальше и дальше. Да, у челика явно беда с башкой. Сейчас узнаем. Надеюсь.
Oh, Edward, hurry!
I'm coming.
Edward, is that you? I'm in here.
Thank God. Thank God.
Все, манекен ожил.
Elizabeth. There you are. Finally. You have no idea how long I've been looking for you. You had me so worried. I Look. Your brooch. Mother's brooch. You must have lost it at the mine. Let me put it on for you, Betty. I wouldn't want you to lose it again.
Так.
She's been dead for 30 years, Edward. Elizabeth was never here. But we didn't come for her. We came for Johann, and Anna, and Frederick, and Simon, and Ruth. We're here to tell their stories.
No. Elizabeth. She's here.
You know Betty died when she was a baby. She drowned in the pond. And you found her. You were just 11. You carried her to your mother. And your mother...
She hated you for that.
She could never forgive you for bringing her baby to her. And you could never forgive yourself for what she did after. You always forget this. Because you don't want to be alone. So you bring Betty back. Again and again. To New York. To Boston. To the house. But always just out of reach. Never quite there. The scent of her. The echo of her. But never really her. And all it does is make you lonelier. But the thing is, Edward, you're never alone.
You have us.
And you'll always have us. Betty's... She was never there for you. She couldn't be. You can't lose us. We're a part of you.
Forever. And ever. And ever.
But you need to let Betty go now. There's not room for all of us in there.
I couldn't save you, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry.
Кто это на фотке? А.
It is as painful to wake from a vision as it is to be born anew.
Он опять же сейчас все забудет. В очередной раз. А, это еще не конец. Причем тут Драуген тогда? Рассыпется все.
Goodbye, Betty.
Ну, такие вот детские травмы. И кукуха потом всю жизнь едет.
Beautiful day. Had your noodle juice yet?
I might be weaned off the stuff.
Boo. Don't lose your taste for tea, old fruit. It keeps you human. We have unfinished business.
We do?
The final piece of the puzzle.
Ruth.
Come on. Let's go back to where it started. We have an appointment with a ghost.
Давай побежим. Зачем ты идешь? О, спасибо за fast travel.
Such an amazing view, isn't it? And the air. Boy. Why did we come here, Teddy?
To Grovik? Well... to find my sister.
But Betty's not. She was never here. It doesn't make sense.
The letter to Frederick.
The one you found in his safe. From Boston.
I may have overheard a conversation somewhere, paid it no attention, but the name stuck. And Betty... and I spun a story around it that put us on this path.
Do you really believe that? I mean, how often are you around people?
Some places have gravity.
What are you saying? Gravewick's gravity pulled us across the Atlantic Ocean?
Grovik. No, I'm not saying that. That's irrational.
But you believe it, don't you? That we were summoned to tell their story.
I'm a man of science. I don't know what to believe.
And yet, here we are. All three of us.
Is this what you wanted to show me?
I wanted to be close to her. Do you believe in ghosts, Edward?
You know I don't.
Well, you've been chasing one for years.
That's different.
What about me? Us.
You're not ghosts, you're alive.
Fair enough.
Конечно, живые, только
So
живут
what
в твоей
really
голове.
happened to Ruth?
Я думаю, что это несчастный случай.
I believe it was an accident.
How? What happened?
Your guess is as good as mine.
All right, she ran from the mine and came here. And then... was she afraid? What made her run?
Something spooked her.
And she panicked. So she ran here. Why not home? She couldn't go home. Or she didn't want to. She felt safe here. This was her happy place. And
Ну,
then,
типа того.
if only Ruth had wings, like an angel, she could have flown straight to heaven. I hope she's at peace. And with God. Do you think that's where everyone's gone?
They're dead. I don't believe there's anything more to it than that. But there's comfort in oblivion, and we won't be alone. We'll never know what happened to everyone in Grovik.
We tried our best. We'll remember them. All of them. Maybe that will give them some peace in oblivion. Could this be your book, Edward? The one you've been wanting to write? A story about people who are isolated, left behind by the world. You can give them all a proper ending, with no annoying loose threads. Edward, is that...
Our boat? But how?
Ну как
Who
отвязалась.
cares? Let's catch it before it sets out on another adventure.
I don't understand how this can be.
Draugen got tired of sailing around in it and brought it back to us.
It must have been the wind.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, teddy bear. Let's blouse while the weather's still good.
I need my suitcase.
So get a wiggle on, old boy. I'm going to say my goodbyes to all the things. I don't think we'll be back. Meet you at the house.
My goodness. Righty-ho. No rush. We have all day.
А, здесь порисовали. Мне кажется, где-то еще можно сесть порисовать и ачивку получить. О. Надо лодку забрать на берег, чтобы ее не унесло. Да, забраться нельзя. Да, незамысловатая такая история про чувачка со своими демонами внутри, которых он не может отпустить. И со своими бедами с башкой.
Come on, Teddy. Pack your things. I'll meet you by the boat.
Do you never sit still?
Don't be a wet blanket. Let's make like the wind and get out of here.
О, только брошь. Остальное не будешь забирать? Мне это немного эффект бабочки фильм напоминает. Ведь если он постоянно вспоминает о своей сестре, хотя мне кажется, уже не в первый раз это происходило, то это тоже имеет временный эффект. Через какое-то время он опять в очередную локацию отправится для того, чтобы искать ее. Ну, спасибо, что не надо было весь этот путь идти.
Come on, let's go. Row, Teddy, row.
Ну уж на самом деле богом забытое место.
And it's almost winter.
There'll be snow when we get back to Hanover.
The house will be warm.
Are we going to be all right, Edward?
I think so.
Так, ни с какой козой повзаимодействовать и не получилось. Они все были где-то на расстоянии. Ну да, на самом деле, как и говорили, игруха небольшая. С точки зрения геймплея, ну, времени в ней. Как-то странно субтитры с разной скоростью двигаются. То медленнее, то быстрее. The Entity. Сущность. Прям с актеров с реальных срисовали их. Прикольно. Несмотря на то, что картинки уже нет, все равно он продолжает грести веслами. Чтобы в голове картинка это рисовалась. Шикарный саундтрек, красивая картинка и история, которая... Ну, я бы не назвал ее прям максимально банальной, но она уже не один раз повторялась. Ни в фильмах, ни в книгах, и в играх. Пожалуй, наверное, напишу какой-нибудь отзыв свой на эту игру и оставлю его в закрепленном комментарии. В целом, провести вечерок за ней было хорошей идеей, я считаю. Правда, такие интерактивные игры не пользуются популярностью на стримах, по крайней мере, сейчас я могу видеть по количеству просмотров, да и в целом там комментариев и лайков. Но я хотел ее пройти и сохранить на память, так сказать. Думаю, вряд ли я ее, конечно, пересматривать буду когда-нибудь, но мало ли. Титры в начале игры были, титры в конце игры. Они какие-то бесконечные. Ну, тоже, казалось бы, такая игра не замысловатая с точки зрения геймплея, а столько людей над ней работали. Тут тебе, не знаю, прыгать даже нельзя, и никаких стрелялок и взаимодействия тоже минимальное. Но тем не менее. Еще и портировали ее с консолей на комп и так далее. В принципе, можно было с джойстика играть. Edward and Alice will return. Название игры тоже типа Draugen, не совсем понятно. Имеется в виду, что это какое-то проклятие было наложено на эту деревню. Именно поэтому они все поумирали. Кто-то должен был в книге, даже в той же, в церкви написать, что это проклятие, и что там кто-то убийца. Ну, в общем, как-то так. Так, это что такое? Или это так игра начинается, я просто не помню. Да, давайте посмотрим всех разрабов и так далее. Куда же без этого? Ну да, вот и конец игры. Попозже пройду ее на 100% достижений. А на этом буду с вами прощаться. Спасибо всем, кто был со мной и смотрел это от начала до конца. Я думаю, вряд ли таких было много. Но если выдастся вечерок, можете посмотреть это как интерактивный фильм. Всем спасибо, всех обнял.